right, guys, for this video today, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be just kind of more of like a live reaction. As I'm doing it, I am not cutting in and out and things like that. So I will be stumbling over my words at times as I'm trying to talk about it, but I just wanted to give you an unfiltered version of my thoughts. And then we're going to start off with talking about the game between the Chiefs and the Jets from Sunday Night Football. We're really just going to talk about the holding call that was called on Sauce Gardner, the defensive holding call, and then what many consider the non-holding call made on that 3rd and 22 where Mahomes ran for a first down. So we're going to start off with that holding call on Sauce Gardner. This is really unfortunate because here's our hold, right? Here's our hold. Now, normally when you get the hold being called, there's a flag on the field, but it's about 4 seconds before the flag is even thrown. In fact, you can see the ball. He pump fakes it. I don't know why, but he pump fakes throwing the flag. But there's our official, right? Let's change the color. Let's make it a little bit nicer so everybody can see it, right? Ah, no, that's not good enough. Let's go with the pink. Okay, so here we go. Balls. The flag is right there. Look at it. It's still in our ref's hand. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, they're gonna call pass interference on this? That's really bad. But that's not what they're calling, obviously. They're calling a hold. And we're just going to go ahead and take a look at it, right? And that's why some people are like, they're calling it post-interception. So, of course, now they're just trying to fix it. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's go to the VLC media. Let's go ahead and get to this one, right? And you can see, we're going to see that Valdes-Scantling is taking an initial outside release. Sauce Gardner's trying to wash him outside, keep him outside. But Scantling wants to come back inside, and that's where, you know, by trying to keep him outside, Sauce Gardner gets his hands kind of on the back shoulder of Valdes-Scantling. But, you know, you can see that Scantling is right here. He's sitting here fighting with his hands as well to get to the inside and push by. So I think you've got a lot of hand fighting here. And the problem about it is I think this is kind of nitpicky. And this is where it hurts the NFL. Nitpicky is not great if you haven't been calling nitpicky all game. All right. And Collinsworth kind of mentioned it in the broadcast, but if you're going to call this, okay, call it. But that should be getting called in the first quarter of the game, second quarter of the game, third quarter of the game. And if you haven't been calling it, then you can't call it all of a sudden, right? You can't go ahead and call it in the fourth quarter when there's so little time left. It's one thing to call a nitpicky. There's another, right? And we're just going to run the play. There's another where, is it? Yeah. Like I said, nitpicky is another when you're just blatantly calling. And they've called holds in this game. They've been calling holding, and you can see it is defensive holding. Just be consistent in the game. That's all I want. That's all I want as a player and when I was a coach. You know, if you're going to be nitpicky all game. If you're not, let us play. Okay, fine. And that's where my issue is with this flag. They're calling it. Okay, cool. But again, big call really does affect the game because we get the interception by the Jets and they have a chance. But I also wanted to talk about this play, and we're just going to go right. We're going to go right to it. Let's take a look at it. This is the play where it's 3rd and 22 for Patrick Mahomes, and everybody is really upset that there is not a hold called on Jermaine Johnson. Let's see here. So he's going to start going. He gets engaged, and what you're going to see is you're going to see right here, the jersey starts to get pulled away from Jermaine Johnson. One of the issues, though, for Jermaine is our officials up here, these two guys, and let me use orange, actually. This are two officials up here and up here. They can't see where the jersey's going to be held because they got to see through Jermaine Johnson, right? So, you know, it's easy to say, oh, they should have called it, but they can't see it, right? What I would have liked to have seen on this is Jermaine Johnson just selling that he's being held. Almost like lunge, fight, keep fighting and start pulling, right? Because then you really can see what's happening. We're going to look at the end zone view. And really, you could potentially say that this is where the hold should be getting called because Jermaine is now trying to work away from the tackle for the Chiefs tackle, right? He's trying to work away from it. But I'm wondering if the ref said, well, he's so far behind, he's not going to be able to get in on the play. We're not going to call that. But you can see that he's trying to pull away, and that's where you can start to see the hold, right? We're going to go to the end zone view. This is what I mean by, what I would have liked to have seen in terms of helping yourself get that call. Sometimes you got to sell the call if you're the defender. That's why sometimes you see defenders go over the top because they're truly trying to sell, hey, we're being held. We're not joking about it, right? So here we go. We got Jermaine Johnson, and the hand initially is to the outside, but then he resets his hands and he gets it what looks like to be inside if you look at the hands right here. Now, you're saying it's right here, it's on the outside shoulder. You could make that argument, but the refs are probably just going to let it be right there. This is where Jermaine just needs to keep fighting this way to really sell, hey, I'm being held, my jersey, you can see my jersey being pulled, right? Right there. Keep fighting, right? Don't put your hand up. Fight. Fight. I think he just needs to fight through there. He's being held. Fight. Keep fighting. As it is, he then gets driven. Then there's that hold, and that's why. So this is really unfortunate for the Jets fans. I know that it's really hard to lose a game this way. I feel awful for them. They were finally feeling some hope. There was some raucousness going on in the fandom there. And I feel bad for Zach Wilson because it is his fumble that they just couldn't get the ball back, giving them a chance to go win the game. I did a breakdown video on Zach Wilson. I talked about their offense against the Patriots, and I just hated their offense against the Patriots. I thought tonight's game, they came out doing a lot more creative things, more play action boots, more letting him throw the backside screens on runs. And those really did help their run game and give Zach more confidence. I saw route combinations that were designed to really be, hey, just read this one guy and then just get the ball out. And for me, there's positive things to build on now. Zach just needs to put together a full game. Just unfortunate. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to give you my thoughts, my quick breakdown and summary of these two plays because, yeah, it's just unfortunate. That defensive holding, got it. It hurts because just no consistency, and you can't have that in a game, especially in the big moments. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please make sure to let me know down below. Check out the recommended video at the end to see more breakdown videos. We'll see you later.